Hello everybody, I'm SJM. Welcome to Steampunk in my long, not super long, but pretty long search for a next pack to work on or play while waiting maybe for the next version of Vault Hunters to drop. Was the I kept scrolling up and down through all of the CurseForge mods, and I kept passing over this one, even though like the uploader's name was kind of familiar. So this name I kind of recognized it, but I didn't really clue into it until after I downloaded the pack and started playing, and then saw that it was actually by Lunapixel. So I totally forgot. So these are the same. These are the same guys that made or people that made the Prominence mod pack, and I think they probably do generally pretty good job with their packs. So decided to give this one a go, especially when I got my head wrapped around the main mechanics of the pack and the things that it's got going on in there. So I played a test world for a little while, and then started on one in earnest here that we'll go into. We'll probably mostly be going through the quest book in this episode, so there won't be a lot of content in here if you've been playing this pack already and you know about the basic things. But if you're new to the pack, or you want to look into whether or not you'd be interested in playing with it, then this is the kind of episode that you're looking for here now. So we'll give this a moment to load in, and note that I do have the shaders turned on for this, so might be a little bit bright at the start here. But generally has a good feel to the overworld so far that I've been going through, and it does have a different texture pack that I haven't seen before, or resource pack. So vanilla consistency or redo. Oh wait, sorry, it's over here. I'm not sure what the main one is, to be honest with you. But anyways, they've thrown quite a few in there, right? Obviously, to get everything sort of looking similar and working together. So there's quite a lot of resource packs already pre-installed in here, but does have an interesting feel. Does take a little bit of getting used to, and some of the icons and such. Like what I have in my hand here is actually roast chicken. Water buckets, the quest book. There's a stone shovel, an iron pickaxe. So things are a little bit different there. And I'm kind of standing on top of my base right now. So we'll get in there a little bit later. But for now, we'll just take a look into the quest book here. And you'll start off in this quick tutorial section here. And this will give you the main things that we want to look out for, or the obviously new mechanics, right? So thin air, this basically is the main mechanic, I guess. Cold and hot is also the biggest one, I think, but this one is another major mechanic that's in the pack, whereas if you go too high up or too far down, that you can't breathe, similar to being underwater. So you'll get the air bubbles over top of your food bar there, and if those deplete down to 0, then you start taking damage. This basically anything above 128 or so. I haven't tested the upper limits so exactly, but and then down to y equals, they say y equals 0, but it's actually, you can go down to -2, and then when you hit -3, that's when your air bubbles start forming. And it's also the further below or above that increases the rate at which those air will dissipate or disappear on you as well. So there are ways to mitigate this, obviously, in the pack, and we do have to get into some mods to do that, but we'll get there eventually. Cold sweat is the temperature aspect of it, whereas if you go into a warmer biome, you'll get hotter, and if you go into a colder biome, you'll get colder. And that's all done through this temperature section down here. So this shows you your current temperature. This is in degrees Celsius. So if, I don't know if they have a way to change over to freedom units or not, but me being Canadian, I'm used to Celsius and I can get through that. Once this gets up to like above to a certain temperature, you'll start to see this one in the middle here change. And once this one gets up to a certain level, then you'll start taking damage based on how hot or cold you are. Obviously, there are ways to mitigate that as well, and it's actually outlined right in the pack as well. The third major mechanic is villager comfort. So you can't just, slave up all of your villagers and get the best trades out of them anymore. You've got to pay attention to their comfortability as well. So obviously they're probably going to be temperature sensitive. Haven't fully tested this part out, but you can't just lock them in a cage and keep them there. They want to be able to walk around and greet each other and having a more natural setting. So I've set myself up close to a village. Where is it? This direction? That's fine. And find this sunny tree over here. So just over there, there's a fair-sized marble village. And I got two beautiful sunny blossom trees, one on either side of here, so I know what my base looks like from far away. And yeah, this big sunny blossom tree over here. So I'll have to do this with y'all. We'll go and we'll make our temp pad for getting into, for teleporting around. This is a wonderful mod. I love this one. It's free teleporting around and no more waystones. That's happy news. I always like it when temp pad is in a pack. Improvable skills, we'll touch on this in this episode as well. And then the Mr. Crayfish's guns and scorched guns. I dipped my toes into here. It takes quite a bit of crafting materials. And I haven't crafted some of the lower tier ones because I don't think it's just worth it when we can just put a little bit of investment into it and get a decent gun. But that's going to be super interesting, and I'm looking forward to playing around with that there. And then as with the other Lunapixel quest lines, these aren't really super dependent on each other, but gives you a general guideline as to what you should be doing. And it's not like there's gating in the pack per se, but it does kind of direct you on which way you should be going to work your way through the pack, right? So this first quest here asks you to choose between normal and hardcore. It's not exactly hardcore as in if you die you have to delete your world, but this makes the gameplay harder. So if you pick hardcore, you get this item, which is a ring, which will give you a bunch of positive and a bunch of negative effects. And if you hold shift while you're hovering over here, you can see what you get. So the 7 curses you get, so you receive double damage. Neutral creatures will be aggressive, so if you're walking past an elephant, it'll probably all of a sudden just decide to crush you for no reason. Armor is weaker, monsters receive less damage, fire won't go out by itself, you'll have to put it out with water yourself. Death tears your soul apart, I'm not sure what that means. And you suffer from incurable insomnia, no sleeping away the night. The blessings that you get +1 to your looting, +1 to your fortune, lots of extra experience so that you can level up your skills faster. That'll help there. Enchanting power in the enchanting table for free. unique drops. You get the Ring of Ender, so you'll be able to access an Ender chest without having it on your having to put it down on the ground and go into it. And you can create and use unique relics. I'm not doing hardcore. I'm not into the extra damage and less damage, and that kind of just frustrates me, especially in a pack where there's a lot of unknowns, and I've seen a lot of unknowns so far. So I'm just going to be doing the normal playthrough here. So we'll do that, and we'll get our ring for the normal playthrough. So we're going to grab this ability page. This basically gives us a way to craft on the fly without needing a crafting bench, which is handy. An extra piece of leather, which I didn't claim earlier, and I already claimed my respirator. This is one of the things that you can use to stop or to help you with the thin air. So if you're too high up or if you're too far down, you put on the respirator, and that will stop your bubbles from getting lower. It doesn't fill them back up, but it will stop them from going lower at any point. And I already found a diamond. That'll give us a random reward. So if we click on that, we'll get... Oh, I got an iron ingot. Yay. But other... Oh, right, because I haven't actually collected this reward, a tier upgrade for one of my chests. And... Oh, when I crafted my backpack, I went straight to the iron version, didn't I? And I didn't stop at the regular version. So I'm not getting the quest reward for that one, which is basically just a bigger chest. But we can always we'll be making another backpack at some point, anyways, because storage is good, and this pack, like the Prominence pack, does encourage exploration, which is a good thing. Got the checkmark request. Oh, I see. So that's there. So there's some of the mods in here. We've got a bunch of different dimensions. So the blue skies dimension, we have Ad Astra. So we've got the Moon, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Glacio. I don't know what the Ultralands are. I'm not familiar with this one at all. The Aether, which is the glowstone and water dimension. I've never been there, but we'll definitely be going there for sure. Create, Computercraft, which this is one that I'm always scared to get in because it requires programming knowledge, but maybe we'll be getting into it. If we don't need to, I probably won't be getting too deep into it, but maybe it'll serve some easy solutions to some auto crafting or something that we can get into. Immersive engineering, which I haven't played with in a long time, so it'll be nice to get back onto that. Weapons and vehicles. Vehicles I'm really interested to get into because there's the new Create mod in here. So I haven't played with Create in a while either, so it'll be nice to see some of the updates in there. And then obviously the thin air, cold sweat stuff, so get us some Create things from there. And then in here, creating the diving helmet and the back tank will help you be able to breathe when you're too far down, too far up. Also in water as well. So that'll be handy for doing ocean exploration when we get there. For mitigating the warm and the cold, we've got the Hearth and the Soul Spring. So this is used for the nether. This will be used for keeping things warm on the surface in the overworld. And then sewing table will be able to improve our armor to mitigate the temperature differences as well. Now that I've talked my way through the daytime, I guess we may as well retreat into my base. I've decided to make my base underground in this hill. So I've basically got the beginnings of it dug out. Just a nice cross pattern so far. And the center of the hill is here, so I'll be able to do maybe a couple of layers. We'll see how that all works out later, but we'll be decorating this up and making it look better in a little bit here. Let's put away some of this stuff I wanted to see. Okay, so this is sort of like a information book. So yeah, something to go into there if you're interested in any of the items in there. Obviously, oh yeah, everything's locked up, so until you actually start, you have to progress to get through that book. Interesting. This is the page with ability. So we craft that up there, and it will float over into our skill book. So the two things we're going to need to make here right now is the temp pad. So we're going to need 6 blocks of quartz, a redstone lamp, tinted glass, and a beacon. No. We need a beacon first. Okay, so I guess the teleporting around isn't going to be coming very easily. I guess that's good in a way, otherwise that would be a little bit silly. Kind of makes me wish that we had it right off the hop, because I like going out, filling up my inventory, and then teleporting back, dumping it out, and then continuing my journey, which obviously you can do with waystones, but not in this pack apparently. And then the other thing we need to make is the skill book. So we're going to need 2 books, some paper, gold, and some leather. So do I have what I need? I don't have any paper, do I? So we'll have to get some paper. All right, we'll put this on a quick pause. We'll make up the skill book, and we'll come back. We'll go through that, and then that'll be it for this episode. So bear with me there, folks. We'll be back in a minute. All right, well, out and about collecting up some sugar cane, I noticed something here. There is a mod called Quality Crops, and in addition to the just regular sugar cane, we get different gold quality, a diamond quality, and a silver quality. I don't know exactly what all of that means. Maybe something to do with villager trading, but at any rate, it seems a little bit annoying that we get all of these different stacks for sugarcane. And also we stopped here because my temperature is going up and up and up. So I took a little bit of refuge underneath this tree in a different biome. But as you notice, once we go over into this, which is labeled as a desert, my temperature is steadily increasing, and that's doesn't have anything to do with the torch in my hand, I'm pretty sure. And then if we jump into the water, instant refreshment, pretty much. And then coming back out. Oh, hey, look at that. The torch in the off end does have an effect on the temperature. Nope, maybe not. It's not getting too hot in this little piece of desert here, so that's good anyways. But I think once that orange bar gets a little bit higher, then it will start increasing the number in the middle between my health and food bars, and then that will cause damage when it gets too high up there. Oh, hey, look at that. We got some coral right close by our home. Not too far away, about 200 blocks or so. Yeah, a little bit of exploration while we're out here. Brain coral. Okay. Oh, there's another village on the other side of this marble village here. Ooh, lots of pufferfish in this area too. Well, at any rate, let's head back home. I've got what I need to make my paper now, and make our skill book, and then we'll also show off the thin air mechanics down in the first mine that I made. So we'll bring you back in a minute or two there. Alright, so it seems that these quality crops can't even be used to make paper, so that's a thing, I guess. I needed 2 books. And there we go, we now have our book of skills. So it has a whole bunch of different skills available to us, so we can increase our attack speed. Chopping, digging, swimming, climbing speed on a ladder, which I might need, jump height, mining will be a handy one. PvP protection. I guess there's PvP in this game somewhere. Feather falling. And melee damage. So there we go. There's our internal crafting grid without actually needing a crafting bench. That's in our abilities tab. This is our skills tab, and then this is a godsend. Boom, just like that. We've got tons of storage for levels in there. I am such a fan of mechanics like this because I die just so very often. It's quite frustrating sometimes, but it is what it is, right? I'm gonna grab a little bit of food for now. Filtered insert. And we'll take our respirator and go down to my mine. So we do get quite a bit of grace, like, you know, 130-ish blocks of verticalness you have to play with without having to worry about this. But obviously, if you want to go and get your highest chance for getting diamonds and such, you're going to need to engage in the mechanics before you can go down and do that. So here I am at minus 57. Actually, that's not even going down that fast, so maybe I wasn't telling the truth about the deeper you are, the faster it goes down. But we don't climb ladders so fast, so we might be lucky to get out of here without taking any damage. So we'll be able to demonstrate this a little bit better in here, but have to get down to the, there's another cave just down here that I'll be able to demonstrate this a little more properly. So now that we're down at minus 14, bubbles are going down, but if we pop up these a little bit, at minus 1 it goes away, at minus 2 the bubbles don't appear, but once you hit minus 3, that's when you get the effect there. So you got quite a bit of time while you're down here, honestly, but you have to make sure that you've got something that you can mitigate it with. So we put our respirator doesn't go in our actual head position, it has to go in our head bobble slot, and then that will stop the bubbles from going down any further. As I mentioned before, it doesn't make them go up at all, but it will stop them from decreasing anymore. And obviously the respirator does have durability, and the durability does, as far as I can tell so far, only goes down when you're actually below that minus 3 range. But the recipe for this is not hard at all, just a little bit of paper, some charcoal, and some string. So if you wanted to do that while you get your initial mining done for your initial setups before you get in too far into the create stuff, then that's probably the way to go there. But otherwise you can just find more cave systems like I found there that are, you know, above 0, so to speak, and you'll be able to get most of the things you need to get started anyways. You're just not going to have a good chance at finding too many diamonds on this level, although I did get really lucky and I found 2 diamonds in my initial little cave here, which if you were keen-eyed enough, you noticed as I ran past them. So there's 2 diamond ores here exposed to air at +4. That's a pretty rare find there. I'm kind of waiting to see if I can get some fortune easily, but I haven't seen that yet, so we may come back to that a little bit later, or we may just grab it because I do have a Silk Touch book, so it might be a handy thing to get that Silk Touch book put onto a diamond axe at the start, because there aren't real good ways in this pack right now to double your ores. So if we look at the uses, I have to right click on the iron ore there. So hammering just gives you 1, smelting just gives you 1, create gives you 75% chance to get a second with the crushing wheels. Otherwise blasting is just 1. The forbidden and arcanus is just 1-to-1. The arc furnace, so if once you get deep into immersive engineering, then you got your doubling there. And the crusher is a 10% chance. Oh wait, the crusher is a doubling there as well, with a 10% for nickel grit. Yeah, there's no doubling of the powder, so there's no reason to do that there. There is, however, another mechanic to double your ores early on, and that's because there is a trader goblin. If you know what I'm talking about, you probably don't have to see this part here, but I'll just go over it with you for those who don't know. While you're down here mining around and doing your thing, you will occasionally spawn little trader goblin, and he'll probably scare you the first time he pops up. Because he makes little noises. And he's already disappeared on me. Okay, probably because I went on that little boat trip for sugarcane and I despawned him by accident. But if you interact with him, he will turn your ore chunks into smelted ingots for you, and double, well, not doubling for all of them. So gold, he trades. If you give him 3 ore chunks, he'll give you 2 gold ore back, or 2 gold ingots back. But with iron ore and with copper, it's a 2 to 1 for sure. So that is a way to get ore doubling early on. You just have to be patient until he shows up, and then have all of your ore on you at the same time to trade with him when he does appear. So yeah, I think that's just about everything that I wanted to go over in this episode. Just finding, obviously, the 1.20, the great big cave systems that we got here are super handy. You just have to be careful that you don't that you're paying attention to your Y level and that you don't get too deep without a way to get back and end up suffocating yourself. The other thing that I didn't really notice here, but you see that initial shot there got rid of 3.5 hearts, and then that shot there got 3.5 hearts. Doesn't seem to be jumping crits with that big lag spike. So there doesn't seem to be a reason to oh yeah, and there is another new addition there. I killed that zombie and he released a haunter. So doesn't happen all the time, but happens every once in a while. There's also the lost souls from the Forbidden and Arcanus. I think you can capture those guys, but they don't harm you, whereas the white guys, the white guys are the danger, right? As usual. I really like granite, copper ore, and things like that. That's a really nice addition. And that's super weird, right? It's granite colored on this side, but stone colored on the top side for this iron ore. Interesting. All right, enough rambling. Could probably go on with lots of this. Ooh, that's a great find right there. Stella Arcanum. If you know, you know. If not, come back when you've got a diamond pick. You can use that to make unbreaking tools. It's a process, but that's the toughest ingredient to get there for making unbreakable tools. Anyways, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. I appreciate you all, and we will see you in the next one.